Drag racing has always been about raw power, speed, and excitement. The roar of engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the thrill of cars blasting down a straight track at unbelievable speeds. That's what drew fans to the National Hot Rod Association, NHRA, for decades. But as we step into 2026, the sport is facing some tough times. Attendance at events is dropping. TV viewership isn't what it used to be, and there's a growing sense that something's off. A recent video by drag racing enthusiast Jack Corpella, titled, "What's Really Killing the NHRA?" sparked a lot of talk by pointing fingers at everything from empty grandstands to behind-the-scenes leadership issues. Drawing from fan feedback, racer insights, and a look at the bigger picture, it's clear the problems run deep. But there are also signs of hope as the NHRA celebrates its 75th anniversary. Let's break it down step by step, using simple terms to explore what's going wrong and what could fix it. A quick look back, how drag racing got its start. To understand today's challenges, it helps to remember where drag racing came from. Back in the late 1940s, after World War II, young car lovers in Southern California started racing on empty airstrips and desert roads. These hot rodders wanted to see who had the fastest ride in a straight line. It was wild and unregulated at first, but in 1951, the NHRA stepped in to make things safer and more organized. They set rules, built proper tracks, and created classes for different types of vehicles. Things like the quarter-mile runs, burnout shows, and the Christmas tree starting lights all trace back to those early days of American car culture. This foundation turned drag racing into a real sport, but now, 75 years later, it's struggling to keep that same energy alive. The big drop in fans and attendance. One of the most obvious signs of trouble is the empty seats at races. Major events like the U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis or races at ZMEX Dragway in Charlotte often have big sections of the stands sitting unused, even when the racing is top-notch. Fans who show up describe the venues as feeling like ghost towns. Why? For starters, ticket prices are high, around $80 for a good seat. And that's before you add in pricey food like $22 hot dogs or $13 drinks. Restrooms and other facilities are often outdated and not well maintained, which doesn't help. Compare that to other motorsports like Supercross or Supermotocross, which pack stadiums full. Those events keep things short and exciting, usually 3 to 4 hours, with added fun like stunt shows, DJs, simulators, and activities for kids. NHRA races, on the other hand, can drag on, no pun intended, and feel stale. The pits, where fans get close to the action, are mostly just displays of equipment with little entertainment. No wonder younger fans aren't sticking around. Social media posts from fans echo this. One racer shared photos of half-empty tracks and said they'd choose the rival International Hot Rod Association, IHRA, over NHRA if both were nearby, calling NHRA boring compared to the old-school vibe of IHRA. TV viewership is down too. While NHRA claims solid numbers, critics question them and suggest more transparency, like sharing full data on YouTube. The aging fan base is another factor. Many longtime supporters are getting older, and the sport isn't pulling in enough new, younger people to replace them. This isn't unique to NHRA. Similar issues are hitting other racing series like NASCAR, where attendance and ratings have slipped as older fans fade away without fresh blood coming in. Losing the stars and missing the drama. Drag racing thrives on big personalities and rivalries. Think of legends like Brittany Force, whose high-energy style drew crowds for years. But with Force retiring and his daughter Brittany stepping back, there's a huge gap. Tony Stewart, a crossover star from NASCAR, is helping a bit with his appeal, but NHRA hasn't done enough to build up new young talents. Without those star drivers, it's harder to hook casual fans who tune in for the stories as much as the speed. Marketing efforts haven't helped much either. Campaigns like Women of Power get praise for highlighting female racers, but critics say they don't really drive ticket sales. Instead, the focus should be on building drama, intense rivalries, behind-the-scenes stories, and personalities that fans can root for or against. Right now, It feels like the sport is missing that spark. The real killer: leadership and money problems. Here's where things get interesting and frustrating. The video argues that the true root of NHRA's woes isn't just external stuff like high gas prices or competition from other sports. It's the internal structure. NHRA is a not-for-profit organization, but it acts more like a business chasing profits, with reported revenues around $90 million and profits of about $5 million. Leadership is dominated by accountants and business grads, not people with racing in their blood. Former President Peter Clifford, now chairman, is singled out as a finance-focused leader who prioritizes paperwork over passion. Executive pay is another sore spot. Salaries are high. Clifford reportedly over $1 million. Current President Glenn Cromwell around $897,000, and others in the $500,000 range. That's a lot of money that could go toward improving events or supporting racers. The board is slow to make decisions, like a clunky neighborhood group that can't agree on anything. And there are no recent racers in top spots. The last one was Graham Light years ago. Legends like Don Garlitz or Larry Dixon feel pushed aside. This setup creates a disconnect. Tracks complain they can't make money under NHRA agreements, leading to sour relationships. Sponsors are pulling out too. Toyota left after 2025, and others might follow. Even rule changes, like updates to the 2026 rulebook for things like engine weights and safety, show effort but don't address the core fan issues. Racers themselves are speaking up. The pro organization, led by folks like Alan Johnson, wants more prize money for wins and championships. And there's tension with IHRA, which recently bought tracks and is seen as more racer-friendly. NHRA fired back with statements, but the rivalry highlights NHRA's struggles. Echoes from other sports, lessons from NASCAR. NHRA isn't alone. Look at NASCAR, which has seen its own decline. Fans are complaining about gimmicky playoffs, high costs, and a loss of the sport's roots. Teams are losing money. 75% reported losses in 2024, and there's legal drama over revenue sharing. Drivers make less now, ratings are down, and attendance is slipping. One expert points to the business model. Tracks rely too much on TV money because they can't generate enough from tickets and concessions. Sound familiar? NHRA faces similar pressures, with an aging audience and failure to adapt to what modern fans want. Social media is full of frustration. One post calls NASCAR's changes a 101 in how to kill your sport, blaming out-of-touch leaders chasing quick bucks over real racing integrity. Another laments the shift to uniform cars that hurt passing and excitement. These mirror NHRA's issues, where safety upgrades like shortening races to 1,000 feet from a quarter mile get mixed reviews. Some want the full distance back for more thrill. Bright spots, celebrating 75 years and new moves. It's not all doom and gloom. As NHRA hits its 75th anniversary in 2026, they're rolling out celebrations to re-engage fans. A new website lets people vote on the top 75 moments and drivers, with over 42,000 votes already. Reveals include stars like Tony Schumacher and Eric Anders. The season kicks off with the Gator Nationals in Gainesville, Florida, from March 5th to 8th, and runs through November in Pomona, California. Holiday ticket sales with 20% off are aimed at boosting crowds. Sponsorships are holding strong in spots. Tony Schumacher extended deals through 2032, and teams like Skag Racing are adding cars. New tracks like Nitro Motorsports Park join the network, and podcasts like NHRA Insider keep the conversation going. Even cancellations like the 2025 finals due to weather led to quick decisions on champions based on points, showing some flexibility. Pro Mod Series updates promise more competition and safety, which could draw interest. And with drivers like four-time champ Steve Torrence opting out of final races in 2025, it opens doors for new faces. Fixing it. Ideas for a comeback. So what's the path forward? The video suggests big changes. Switch to a single-owner model like IHRA under Daryl Cutterback for quicker decisions and more passion. Partner with successful promoters like Bill Bader, whose Night Under Fire event draws 45,000 fans. Shorten races, add kid-friendly activities, upgrade pits, and focus on interactive fun. Racers want better media deals and more money funneled to prizes. Bring back legends for input and promote energetic voices and coverage. Fans on social media call for going back to basics. Full quarter-mile racing, lower costs, and less bureaucracy. Address the aging fan base by targeting youth with affordable entry and modern twists, without losing the sport's heart. NASCAR's lessons apply here. Focus on quality racing and integrity over gimmicks. As one post puts it, money chased at the expense of the product leads to decline, but putting the on-track action first can turn things around. Looking ahead, can NHRA rev up again? NHRA drag racing is at a crossroads in 2026. The decline in attendance, loss of stars, and leadership hurdles are real, but so is the passion that built the sport. With its anniversary as a chance to reflect and renew, NHRA has an opportunity to listen to fans, racers, and critics. By making events more fun, affordable, and engaging, and putting racing people back in charge, it could roar back to life. Drag racing started as a grassroots thrill. Maybe returning to those roots is the key to surviving another 75 years. Fans are watching closely. Will the leaders step up? Only time and the next burnout will tell.